Hi everyone, hope you guys had a nice vacation. We're going to be picking up today from the Mishna on Zayin Amud Beis. So let's jump right into it. As we've already discussed in Shir, so just a quick review, we said that there are 4 levels of accidents, going from Ones to Shogeg, Karov Lamezid, and Mazid. And our goal for this Gemara is really just to talk about this one, Shogeg. Because as we explained, it's only Shogeg that a person kills someone by accident, but could have prevented it, that's the case where he goes to the Ir Miklat, right? He has to run away so that the Goel Hadam, the relative who wants to take revenge, cannot kill him in what we call the Ir Miklat. So the Mishnah is now going to be giving us an example of a Shogeg case when the person runs to the Ir Miklat. And so it's sort of a little bit of a story, and the story goes like this. You have 2 guys who are walking in the forest. In modern day terms, they might not be chopping down wood with an axe, maybe they are hunting, but either way, they're walking in the forest, and one guy swings his axe, and in doing so, kills the other guy. Now, of course, he doesn't mean to kill the other guy, so he's not a mazid, he's not a murderer, but he is shogeg. He should have been more careful. We'll discuss exactly what happened, and therefore, the Mishnah will tell us this is the case where he runs to the Ir Miklat. And here we see a little axe that just clearly does not belong there, and by accident ended up in this guy's windshield. So let's see the Mishnah. So the Mishnah begins as follows. Nishmat habarzel mikito. The case is that the blade of the axe flew off from the handle, v'harag, and killed the other guy. Meaning, there was one guy who took a swipe, a chop with his axe, and as he was swinging his axe, the blade just flew off, and it kills the other guy. So in this case, Rebbe says, Eino gola. This is not a case of gullus, meaning it's not shogeg. We'll discuss that in a second. V'chachamim omrim gola. And the Chachamim say this is your classical case of shogeg, therefore he runs to the Ir Miklat. Let's look over here for a second and understand this. So the scenario again is, the axe blade flies off, and the Chachamim say it's shogeg. Again, he should have been more careful. You should know that there's another guy standing there. Just like if you were going hunting in the woods, you should be careful where you shoot your gun. But he's definitely not a murderer. He's a shogeg. He runs to the Ir Miklat. Rebbe's interesting. Rebbe says there's no gullus, but why there's no gullus is up for discussion. So let's go see that now. So there's actually 2 possibilities as to why there is no gullus. So possibility number 1 is ones. We know ones is the least type of accident. It's not nearly your fault, and axe blades don't just fly off, and therefore he doesn't have to go to gullus because it was really a freak accident that the blade fell off. However, there's a second interpretation to understand why he does not go to gullus, and this is a much more strict approach, and that is because Rebbe is saying the guy is karov lamezid. He's actually not just irresponsible like a shogeg, but he's super irresponsible. He did something really, really bad and really dumb. Why? If you imagine for a second, if the axe blade flew off its handle, it must be that the axe blade was pretty loose. Just like we had in our scenario, where the DRS hockey player took a slap shot and his blade fell off, well, probably that blade was loose from beforehand. And if that's the case, he should have checked it, right? If your axe is not put together properly, or whatever it is, you should be checking that before you start swinging it away. And therefore, he's karov lamezid, and we explained karov lamezid, he does not go to Ir Miklat. He's sort of treated more harshly than that, and therefore he's not protected from the guy's relative should that guy want to take revenge. And that is scenario 1, the Chachamim and Rebbe. Let's now take a look at scenario 2. The Mishnah continues as follows. Min ha'etz ha'misbakeya. Now the case is, it's not that the axe blade is flying around, but you actually take your axe and you chop it, you hit it into the tree, and a piece of the tree, a wood chip, flies out, and that piece of wood that flies out kills the guy. So it's much more indirect. So in this case, Rebbe says, Gola. This is your classical case of Gullus, it's shogeg. You should have been more careful because the guy's standing right there, but it wasn't your fault, and you certainly didn't mean to kill him. V'cham omrim eino Gola. And the Chum say he does not get Gullus. Let's take a look and understand this quickly. So again, scenario 2 is where the axe hits the tree and a piece of wood flies out, killing the guy. Rebbe says this is shogeg. The Chum say eino Gola. Why not? They say because it's ones. It's a huge accident. What's the odds that you're going to chop a tree and the wood from the tree is going to kill a guy? They call this koach kocho. And this is very important to understand. So let's just make sure you understand it. Koach kocho means as follows. Koach kocho means it's a secondary force. Meaning, it wasn't your direct action that killed the guy. You took your axe and chopped it into the tree, and then from that blow to the tree, another thing happened. A piece of wood flew out of the tree and killed the guy. It's a koach kocho. It's a secondary force, and therefore it's certainly onus, and you would not have to be sent to exile to the Ir Miklat. Let's just very quickly make a quick chart here to review. I suggest everyone copies this down into their notes. Again, the question of the Mishnah is, what is a case of shogeg? Meaning, what is the case where someone kills someone by accident in a way where they could have prevented it, and therefore they have to run to the Ir Miklat? So we have scenario 1. Scenario 1 is where the axe blade flies off. So according to Rebbe, that is not shogeg. We said that might either be one of two possibilities. It might either be ones or karov lamezid. But according to the Chachamim, scenario 1 is your classical case of shogeg, where he runs to the Ir Miklat. And then you have scenario 2. Scenario 2 again is the case where you chop the axe into the tree and a piece of the tree flies out and kills someone. So in this box, Rebbe says this is your classical case of shogeg. You should have been more careful. You should have seen that someone was standing right behind you. And I guess wood chips do sometimes fly out like that. And according to the Chachamim, this is not a case of shogeg. It is an ones. It is an accident that is out of your control.